local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. Are payment processing fees eating into your profits? With Bay County POS, local businesses are saving time and money with secure, seamless merchant services. Reduce credit card processing fees and save up to 3.9% on gross sales. From quick, contactless payments to detailed sales reporting, it's Bay County POS. For a free consultation, call 850-359-3906. Bay County POS. Local service, global standards.
Your home for Super Bowl 59. WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Chuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me sweat.
Yeah.
Chuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me wet.
Yeah. Well, good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of Super Bowl, was it 59? Super Bowl 59, I do believe, from the great city of New Orleans. Did you see the pictures of New Orleans? We have been through there so many different times. The off-ramps, the interstate, everything. It looked like almost had to be 8 inches of snow or more. And I have a buddy, matter of fact, I won't say where, next door neighbor. They were going to fly out to Colorado to go snow skiing. And for some reason they were in New Orleans, and I think he's stuck in New Orleans. And that's going to take. And evidently they don't have, like we do in the big cities up north, to be able to take care of open the roads and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it was kind of crazy.
I know there was.
Did you ask about calling?
He hasn't texted me back yet, but I can do something.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our special guest today. That their journey to get here was amazing.
Here we go.
What they did to risk their life to be here this morning is incredible.
And that's just to get in the front door.
Yeah,
it really. Seriously, I about busted my.
Just to get past this dog.
That was bad to get in this morning. But Jason Kovaleski, give him a hand. Thank you for all you do. And the legendary Glenn Manley. Glenn, thank you for all that you do. And Jim Bob Brandt. Yeah. Jim Bob, thank you for all you've done. And you got experience. You grew up in this stuff.
Yes, I did.
You grew up in this BS.
That's why I moved here.
To watch.
I'm serious. That's a big part. That's a big part of it, man.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. And the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Wildcat. He had to get up early.
I just want to point something out. It's a little known fact, but I did see it. I had to research on my phone. I had to dig deep. You know, we talk about hot tub in our intro. There were pictures of him in his hot tub in the backyard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he had a glass of champagne over the tank or something.
Yeah. What's your address?
That's all I did was drink champagne.
He lives out in the country.
That's all right.
Matter of fact, there was a cow that walked up towards his hot tub when he was in there. It was amazing. Or was that a goat?
All my meat's frozen now.
Somebody said you had those goats trained. What did they mean by that? What can your goat do that...
No
you're not the goat boy, are you?
He can either confirm or deny.
You remember Saturday Night Live, Goat Boy?
Hey, I tell you,
that's
somebody
show was
related to you.
That's really need to go off to David Hayes. I mean,
oh my God! Give him a hand. What did he do?
David Hayes.
What did he do now?
Came in and he tried his best.
They wouldn't let him go across the bridge.
Oh wow!
You know what he did? He went and parked his truck down there by, what's that old bar that's not there anymore?
No Name Bar.
No Name Bar.
Yeah.
And took his little rowboat. He rowed his boat over across, right here in the back of the Navy base. Got out came in, did the show, rowed back. He rowed back at night. He was going through that water at night.
With
and all he had on was
flashlights,
shorts and
lighter.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Were there sharks or alligators?
Everywhere.
He could do it all. The
He
guy
really
is
did.
incredible. Now, Ryan had a helicopter bring him in. Ryan
Got class
Helicopter dad.
and money.
He got a lot more money. He can do what he wants. But anyway, no, they did. They came. And Ryan told me he wouldn't come in yesterday at noon. But it got better. The weather was better. I don't think yesterday was as bad as they thought. They made it was going to be really bad yesterday. It really
They
wasn't.
didn't have the refreeze in some places.
Refreeze.
Like,
They didn't have the refreeze.
When it started melting, and then,
The streets are pretty melted. There's a couple of places like the outside of the bridge, right underneath the bridge here. If you're turning left onto Thomas Drive, there's still ice there. But
that's
most
gnarly.
everything else is pretty much, melted.
Yeah.
If it looks wet out there, it's ice.
Probably black ice.
Until the sun comes
Black
out.
ice. That's the worst kind.
So the bad drivers can go back to normal and just drive bad for no reason.
they can crash.
When's the last time you remember interstate being closed from not just Alabama to Tallahassee?
67 miles.
I'm talking
worth.
about over in Mississippi, over in Louisiana. Louisiana.
The only time I can remember roads being closed like this was Opal, because people don't realize how bad Opal was up around Front Beach Road. I mean, because of the storm surge, there was the roads that fell into the water. I mean, they weren't letting anybody over any bridge. So it took us 2 or 3 days to get back when we evacuated for Opal. So that was the only time I can remember being
That's where
shut
you
down.
always want when those hurricanes hit east of you, not west of you.
That one was bad. That was pretty long ago, though.
Yeah, I mean this was historical. We might not see this again in our lifetime.
I was really shocked because I was here when we had flurries back in '89 or whatever it was, and it dusted the ground. But within 15 minutes, my ground was covered, and it looked like I was back in Ohio in the middle of December, and it was.
You know, Woodlawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. At Bay Point, man, we got hit. There's still snow everywhere where the shade trees.
Oh, yeah.
Where the shade. In our backyard, it's hard to get some part because of our neighbor's big tree.
So
It's
supposedly
still there.
we're having another winter storm here about February 6th or 8th.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be worse than this one.
Hey, remember we can't get. Remember what we told them we can't make it.
Remember that rowboat story?
Remember you had to cross 4 or 5.
Climate change is real.
That bed felt good. I was laying there.
Oh, yeah.
It did this morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can't. The only thing the show is sports radio. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about weather. We focus on sports,
There you go.
as far as you know.
Right.
That's right. Whether or not you like
Yeah.
it. That's right.
We missed, unfortunately.
Did we not talk about weather Tuesday morning before it happened?
We warned them.
Yeah.
We gave them a heads up.
Did anybody give you any credit?
When about what?
Anybody say good job preparing everybody?
No.
Oh, okay.
We missed Bob Uecker's death. I mean, I hate to say it that way,
I know.
but he was kind of a hero of mine because he was a broadcaster. Not only did he play the sport, but he was
knew what he's talking
He
about.
was a broadcaster. He was a sports broadcaster before the rest of these guys were sports broadcasters.
Just a bit outside.
I had to watch Major League the other day in his memory. That movie is, if you're an Indians fan, you don't know how true to life that movie really is. That's pretty much got it. They had it.
He was a perfect guy for that
he
role,
was.
too.
Hey, I'm pumped up about one thing. Next Friday, Kyle Vander is going to be in here.
Oh, cool.
7 o'clock. The local 115 is going to open. Now, they had a really soft opening going on there. Glenn was invited to every one of them. I hadn't invited yet. But the grand opening is tomorrow, 11 o'clock. If you're downtown, I don't care, make a point to be downtown tomorrow. They got the Tommy Oliver draft beer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tommy Oliver draft beer.
Nice.
They got the Glen Manley yellow water. I would not drink that.
It's from melted snow.
Watch out, watch out for the yellow snow.
But this is incredible. They've got stuff in there from every school. If you're an old timer, you probably see something down there. If you're on with the 1966 Bay, you seen that one, the 1966 Bay High School football roster.
We got a Coach Hale pudding.
Yeah, no.
There's an idea for you, though.
Be mean to that boy.
Anyway, what are you getting ready to tell me? Oh, what does that mean?
Means you got a phone call.
Oh, let's take
nice.
this phone call. Good morning.
Good morning, my Eskimo friends.
Call us Eskimo
You
Pie.
remember Blizzard of 51 in Nashville, don't you?
Yeah, I was 2.
Yeah, right. Well, you remember Dixie Flyer hockey team that went,
I do.
went to Eastern
Absolutely.
Hockey League Championship?
Yep.
Yeah, did you sell hot dogs down there?
No, I actually, I was in charge of the hockey pucks. So.
Oh, really? Hey, it was so long ago that a goalie come out one day without mask on, and dude next to me yelled, "It ain't." No, he came out with mask on. And dude next to me say, "It ain't Halloween, sissy. Take mask off."
Yeah, well, you could tell the old timers.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, the old timers.
You remember Buzz Benson?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Too. Those guys,
anyway,
those guys are, crazy. They didn't wear the mask, and you could see where they'd been hit.
Ooh. They didn't wear helmets or masks, and they could fight like.
That was when men were men.
That's when men were
men.
Like,
went to
a hockey puck to the face. You can have that.
We went to especially after it's been on that ice for a while.
Is that you, Glenn?
Yeah, that's me. You know what? Though I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. So.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you remember Lloyd Hinchberger, big number 2? He's a German guy with bald head like you. Anyway, he whipped everybody's butt in Eastern Hockey League.
I tell you what,
then he become coach.
When the Greensboro Generals would show up, they might as well want even watch for the hockey. They would be.
How about Charlotte Checkers, man? That too. Well, there was a dude for them that was mean. Hey, listen, it's a big weekend in college basketball, but I
War Eagle, baby. War damn Eagle. At home. Tennessee's going down.
Saban's rolling over his grave.
Okay, quit talking about our women, okay? Anyway, listen, though, I want to cheer you up, though. 3 weeks from today is baseball season.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I can't
College baseball season and Valentine's Day, so take your love of your life out to a college baseball game.
Absolutely. I can't believe in 3 weeks they crank up.
Yeah,
they do. I'm not lying. I mean, I know Wake Forest is planning to lose several games in a row up here. It's a bad joke. Anyway, I actually probably will buy season tickets if they'll sell them to me cheap. But
hey, Mike,
anyway,
I want to ask something. Did y'all get a lot of snow up there or no?
No, it's down east. It was all on your competitor, Myrtle Beach, got snowed in.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any over here in the Piedmont Triad, as they call it.
Wow.
And it is still cold, though. It's about 20. It's going to warm up. And I actually got out Wednesday, not to make it about me, but here's my parole officer is in Miami Beach right now. It's my daughter, whatever.
Yeah.
But, and here I want to cheer you up. Panama City, Panama, our 52nd state after Greenland. It's 77 down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah, it's going to get better, guys. Don't worry. It always does. It's always coldest before it gets warmer. That's
good. I like that. Can we write that down?
Yeah, well, I think the Vols, I don't know about Auburn and the Vols. I want to make a bold prediction that's selfish and it's SEC prideful. It's going to be like 1985 when there were 3 Big East schools in the Final Four, and I was working for Uncle Sam and Joey Merlino in Wildwood, New Jersey. That's a true story. But don't want to make it about me. Memphis was the 4th school. But this year it's going to be Duke and 3 of the SEC schools, probably Florida, Auburn, and Alabama, because Tennessee always chokes. They do. They've never been there. And we were generous. We let Vanderbilt win, and then Alabama took them to the woodshed. I don't know what's going to happen, but there are going to be a lot of SEC schools still playing basketball the first weekend in April.
Are we even halfway through yet college basketball?
Probably. About the halfway point.
Yeah. I was thinking back halfway through college football season in the top 12. At one time we had I want to say 8 SEC schools ranked.
How did that work out?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Not like we wanted.
Well, I'm not saying Duke's not going to win it all, buddy. I don't know if you've noticed who they've got playing for them. They've got the best players in 40 years that came from the United States.
Yeah.
He is good.
Seriously. He is awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all have a great one. Have a good
Mike.
weekend. And, Wayne Gretzky's birthday's Sunday.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Michael.
See you, man.
Bye. Thank you.
The basketball for the SEC's turned into baseball almost. I mean, it's competitive.
I'm serious about that. I was not kidding. I was like, right now it looks like it's too good to be true. And I remember halfway through the football season, everywhere you ranked, it was an SEC school ranked, and
but we can look at those and see that they were overrated. At least the basketball.
That's what I'm saying. How we don't know that's not going to happen in basketball?
Because you see the talent.
Yeah, you're almost halfway through with the conference game, so there's not many cherry pickers left. So.
No, in basketball, you get big time matchups out of conference because the loss doesn't really mean a whole lot for a season.
I want you not so much him, to rethink about Hurst Street. Everything he's going through. I did not know his wife had breast cancer. His dog died. The guy's had a rough year. He started crying after the game.
His son's got heart issues.
Yeah. Thank you. And
I thought it's like, Jason, you going to take back some of the things you said?
Do you want to
give me a hater
do you want to be a nice now? I think the stress you put him under.
Yeah, it was my fault. It was Buckeye fans' fault. Like he says with every broadcast, Look, I have empathy for anybody. I don't hate Kirk Herbstreit. I hate what he represents, and I think he's completely fake, and I think he sold out Ohio State for ESPN, and I think he's done it many times. The reason I have a strong feeling about Kirk Herbstreit is all about Jim Tressel and how he treated him on national TV during the Alamo Bowl, and I thought it was completely classless. It was baseless. Knowing what other SEC teams were doing to go after Tressel at the time was, to me, completely classless, and I'll never forget that. But I don't have a problem with him. I don't go around and tell people I hate him or this or that. I just, I think people change, evolve. Ask Florida State fans what they think about Kirk Herbstreit before you ask me, because they don't like him. We don't know what the selections are going to be with the helmets behind them.
You find out. That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I gave you an opportunity to give a little love to
him.
I went right down the middle.
Hey, when they go low, we go high.
Right.
You're not more like, you can't be like Michelle.
I'm too
You can't
petty.
be like Michael.
No.
Yeah, like Big Mike.
Big Mike.
I can't switch up like that.
Did you hear the rumor? Well, anyway, I'll tell you during the break. All right, let's take a break. You listen to the legendary 105.3.
104.3.
Whatever. Hey, J. Michael's Restaurant in Thomas
They're
Drive.
listening, aren't they?
J. Michael's today is crisp fish. Oh, my God. It's outstanding. Great grilled fish, peppers, onions, over a bed of rice, the special sauce they put on it is outstanding. Get down to the legendary J. Michael's. Have a great time. Hey, the cold weather, we didn't have a problem whatsoever. You know why? We got Stevenson air conditioning. Jason just said we're supposed to have another one of these in February. You need to get with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Call Jason up, have his crew come out, look it over, tell you what the problem is, what you need to do. Get it serviced. It's going to run better. It's going to save you money. It's going to keep you warm. That is the legendary Stevenson Air Conditioning. Just like Chuck Tucker and South Oak Title and Closing. All real estate closing is Chuck Tucker. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
You are my son. What was the question again? Sorry.
I don't know.
Has Alabama played
Can we focus?
in basketball
No,
yet
they have not
this year?
played
Mr.
yet.
ADH, can you kind of get with the program here?
Please have a withdrawal season, the football season being over already.
I know, man. Can you believe it's over with? What a season. It was so long.
It was.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 50 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 54. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 59 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Love is in the air at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, and do we have a sweetheart of a deal for you? All diamond heart jewelry is on sale for 25% off. All color gemstone jewelry is 60% off at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We also have a large selection of gold, silver, and estate jewelry that is sure to melt her heart. Folks have trusted us for 50 years to make their Valentine's sparkle. This year, make it sparkle even more with a sweetheart of a deal from Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Olivia here, and right now is the right time to put yourself in a brand new Toyota, where you can get 3.99% APR on the stylish and affordable RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the bold Tacoma, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Or get 2.99% on the hardworking 2025 Tundra. We've got the perfect Toyota for you, right here at Panama City Toyota.
Offer ends February 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs. All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending. Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Bozeman Day. And listen, all these basketball coaches, they, in the middle of the season, as like everybody's life was turned upside down with the snow, locked in, couldn't do anything, couldn't be on the roads. They hadn't had practice. I did run into Eli McFadder, the lead. He scored 1,000 points in one season, which is incredible for Mosley.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get him on the show next Thursday. I'm going to try to see if he can get in here. He couldn't make it this morning. They practice, but we're trying to get with Coach. We got Coach.
Sure do.
All right, let's bring Bozeman. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good. Good morning.
I thank you for coming on. We just get through talking about all the basketball coaches. 2 days. I don't think you guys could do anything.
No, we haven't been able to do anything since Monday. Luckily, we were able to get our game in against Freeport, but us, just like everybody else, we've been sitting at home enjoying the snow.
So did you play Monday or Tuesday or what?
We played Monday on MLK Day. That was the last game we were able to play. School was closed, and all extracurricular activities were canceled for basic schools for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So today will be our first day getting back at it.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, talk about the game Monday. Who won the game? Who played well for you? What happened?
Monday was a big one for us. Freeport, they're in our district. We were able to go over there for a matinee game, and we were able to pull off the victory. Cash Zirkle and Jamie Hernandez both scored 23, so they had some big afternoon for us. But it was really good for us to get that, especially with the long layoff.
Man, I didn't get to ask you last week. What about the size of this team? You got how tall? What's your tallest player? Are y'all more of a speed type guys? Are you big and slow? What are y'all?
So we've had bigs the last couple of years, and I got a couple bigs on our team, about 6'5", but this year we really rely more on our guards. We start 4 guards, if that tells you anything. Our big day actually starts at 6'4". So like I said, the last couple of years we've had 6'6" and 6'7", but this year we're a lot more guard heavy. Have to rely a lot more on our guard play and being smart with the basketball.
What about the district? If you see anybody this year, anybody out there's got really big, tall players, or what?
District-wide, well, Freeport for one, they got the leading scorer in all of 3A in the state, with Julius Miles. He's listed at 6'6", but when we walk up to him, he looks 6'8". He's absolutely phenomenal up there. I said we just faced him on Monday. South Walton has some size, and Walton has some size. And Pensacola Catholic has some size. Bayhaven's more similar to us. Rutherford actually has I believe, a 6'8" kid as well. So we're probably more on the smaller end for our district.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Like, I get around Glenn, I look like I'm 6'8", too. But
then he stands next to me.
When I was refereeing that, we used to stop all that nonsense. Okay, Coach, you play when you got 4 guards. You playing a 1 down, a 4 out, or you got something different going on?
We run either a 4 out or a 5 out look. But for the most part, it's 4 out. We run 1 big inside. Really try to still attack the paint, though, to have a paint presence, even though we don't necessarily have the post-up presence.
Right. I didn't know if you just went him from block to block so you could roll him back when the ball came around so you could get him down inside on the post.
Yes, sir. That would be what we most of the time run. And then if they come out, then we'll run a 5 out if we go all guards. So that's the majority of my team, and the majority of the guys off the bench that play significant minutes are our guards.
Yeah, and on your defense, you like to trap half court, or you like to man-to-man, or you're a zone guy?
We're mostly zone. That's how we've been the last few years, hang our hat on our 1-2-2. And we can do a lot out of it. If we feel we have the advantage, we'll extend that to a full 1-2-2, or we'll even look for the half-court 1-2-2. Just really depends on the team we're playing, how good they are at the guard play. Do we really feel we can turn them over or not?
Right.
You taking a lot of threes? It sounds like you don't have a real big team. You taking a lot of threes?
We do. I'd say that's probably our most inconsistent part. When we're hitting threes, we're hard to guard, but when we're not, we're in trouble. But luckily, I said, I got guys like Cash Zirkle, Jamie Hernandez, Zach Flickcraft. Even when they're off, they do a really good job of getting to the rim and still giving us an offensive presence.
Can you talk a little bit about the breakdown of your district? Who's in first? What's the standings look like? And what do you have coming up next week or this weekend?
So, let's see, South Walton, they're 1. They got a little bit of a healthy lead. Walton's 2 and Catholic's 3. And then it's Freeport 4, and then us 5. Now, Catholic, Freeport, and us, we are all virtually tied for the 3, 4, and 5. So we'll see where we all end up. The district tournament will be set this weekend. But we'll know a little bit more on that this weekend.
So there's still Yes, I'm sorry. I was going to say, so there's a possibility you could still get the 3 seed, maybe?
There is, yes, there is. It got a little less likely when we had to cancel our Thursday game, just because we just won't have the games to make it up since we're currently in 5th.
Oh, wow.
But if we can go over, our next game will be, we got to reschedule our Bluntstown game tomorrow. If we are able to go over there and get a win at Freeport or Pensacola Catholic drops one, then we'd have the opportunity to move up to 3.
Nice.
Coach, how are you going to handle, 3 days off like that when like I guess you practice today? What do you got to get them back in shape a little bit, but you don't want to run them in the ground with your legs. You want them fresh. So how will you handle practice this week? Will y'all practice Saturdays also, or what?
Well, we have a game tomorrow afternoon that we were able to get rescheduled. But we'll look for a practice today, lots of shots. I'm getting them up and down a little bit. But not pushing too hard. Don't want to get anybody hurt, especially after the layover. But then we'll have a shoot around tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to go play. I'm definitely glad I'm not like in Mosley's situation or Bayhaven having to play today. I think that would be really tough to have to play a game today. And they're not the only ones. All over the area, a lot of teams are getting a game in today. If we could have done it, we would have tried to do it as well, because obviously you want to give your senior players the most amount of games possible with only 1 week left. But there's a lot of teams that are having to come off the 3 days and just play. So at least we're not having to do that. At least we get one practice in before having to go out there and tip it off.
Yeah, I think Bay goes to Rutherford tonight, if I'm not
Yes, that's another one.
It's a big rival game.
Yeah. Coach, also, I'm an old-timer back in the day. We didn't have the three-point line, but, we used to play that 1-3-1 half-court trap when they had some good outside shooters. I didn't know if you've ever tried that before.
We've done the 1-3-1 in the past, especially I always thought it was very important when we give your 1-3-1 to have the guy in the middle have a really solid big. But no, that's something we've definitely done in the past, but so we mostly think of our 1-2-2.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more comfortable in that.
Yeah, we just had you had the fastest guy you had on the bottom row because he had to go corner to corner. So
I got to ask you something important. How did you handle the snowstorm? Did you get out and build a snowman?
Did you make a snowman?
Did you do anything good?
We actually did. If you actually look on our Bozeman Bucks basketball Facebook page, we got a picture of our Bozeman Bucks snowman. we got a Bozeman Bucks baseball hat courtesy of Coach Patton that we put on our snowman of a basketball. So we definitely made a big old snowman. Made sure to get the Bucks hat on there. So no, we took advantage of the snow day.
Well, tell Coach Patton we asked about him. All right.
Will do.
All right, buddy. We'll take you next week. You take care of yourself. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you, Coach.
Good job, Matt. He did a good job. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many of them. And get out and, seriously, 2 days, they had to shut down their business. If you can, please, get out and support the local businessmen. Go to these different restaurants. Go support them. And I'm sure you're the same way. 2 days of losing money, that's a big deal. If you get any type of, and you're out there, I told Jim off the air, I'm sitting there, we live on Marlin Circle. I look up and they got one of those, what do you call them? What was it? Not a go-kart, but one of those things you take on the water, gator things. Behind it was a canoe. They're pulling it, these kids. And when you come around the curve, that canoe slides out really a long way. I'm thinking, if there's another car coming, which nobody's on the road, but if there would have been somebody there, that'd have been a bad wreck. Or if there had been a kid out in the street at that time, they'd have been a bad one. But he went around. They were having a great time. I think they survived it. But some of the things we saw was crazy.
My nemesis was mailboxes. No matter where I was, I always managed to find one.
That happened without the snow.
Did you see anything wild over at Woodlawn?
No, just my power went out one night, and it was 51 degrees when I woke up at my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you lose your power?
No.
I didn't either.
No.
Well, thank God. Did you lose yours, Glenn?
No, I did not.
We've had a lot of issues over at Woodlawn. They've been doing work over there. We've had flooding. I mean, all kinds of stuff. They're building new roads over there. That's why my Jeep looks terrible every morning.
Up in Birmingham, it was really cold, and there was Jamie's friend. I don't think they were home, but she's walking. She sees water coming out the door.
Oh wow!
I think they had their heat turned low or off. No dripping waters, no cabinets open.
Right.
And you're talking, the estimate I think was like almost $30,000.
Wow.
It flooded everything.
Busted the pipes.
Yeah. But you don't want that to happen. So are they really talking about another cold front coming?
Yeah, somewhere in first week or two in
February 6th to 8th, there's supposed to be a huge polar vortex, storm coming through, and it's supposed to get down almost to Orlando.
I feel a vacation coming on, don't you?
We think it'll be snowing?
It's saying snow and maybe more.
I told you this would never happen again for another 100 years. Did you not hear me say that?
Time flies.
At least you're covering the weather.
Yeah.
You're like the century plant. You bloom one time, and
at least we're warning people. Right? We're here for you. Believe me.
We risked our lives for you.
Oh my God! All right, Newbies, 4 great locations. Newbies 2, the place to go watch the playoffs this weekend. We got 2 of them on Sunday. Super Bowl's coming up, and actually you can listen to Super right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Get out, Newbies, have a great time. Charlotte's going to have the best bands in the Southeast. The Mothership. Get down there tonight and have a wonderful time. Miss Newbies. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kozaleski can make that happen for you. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, call Dr. Ward, and he did finally make it home.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Trump let him go, and he got back home, and he'll have a good story to tell us.
That's right. He was snoozing around perusing around some big people out there.
Randy was up there with those big people.
But Randy was trying to sell him a thing on the show.
Trump's coming on.
Yeah.
We're on here. We're his biggest fans. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. We'll get back. Jim Brandt, FSU.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
The 3 New Donuts transforms Pop-Tart's most beloved flavors into delicious Krispy Kreme donut creations. Choose from Pop-Tart's Frosted Strawberry, Frosted Chocolatey Fudge, and the Frosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon Donuts. Only available at Krispy Kreme Donuts, next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 excuse me, ESPN Northwest Florida. We're trying to get in that junk. How does that thing last, Jason? That little sickness.
Well, if you quit coughing over here, we'll be okay.
That's right.
About 11 months.
Hey, if I get it, we're all going to get it. Everything's together. If I'm going to be in pain and misery, you got to be there with it.
We already are. What you talking about?
Every day at 8 o'clock.
Julie's been pretty sick now. I'm telling you, it's been rough.
I had it for about 2 weeks. I think I had symptoms probably for like a week, but the rest is just congestion.
But you and I can keep going because we take the right stuff.
Right. We take immune.
That immune, I swear by that stuff, man.
I do too.
If you do get sick, you get back quicker, and you hardly ever get sick. All right, we got something going on over at Bay High School, and we got to get Coach Deaton on it. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Talk about what you got going on tomorrow over at Bay High School.
We have a wrestling tournament, the George Mulligan Memorial, the 6th annual.
Talk about, Coach, how many teams you got coming in? I know you usually do it on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, this year's been, the last few days have been a ton of moving parts. We started this week with 36 committed boys teams and 25 committed girls teams.
Wow.
So what's that, 61 teams?
I don't know. I took math at East High. So
yeah, it was. I could do it. It was 61.
Yeah. So that's what we started the week with. Due to all this snow and the weather, we lost 15 boys teams, and we lost 7 girls teams.
That's 22.
Crazy. Some of the best wrestlers are actually in the Bay County, and if you take what's happening around here, and the one we know more than I keep hearing more about Bear Siegel, but you got some great guys in Mosley, and Arnold's got some. So does Bozeman. So and Mosley. So it's in Rutherford. So it's all good. I mean, people don't realize how good wrestling is here. Also with the girls, that has taken off in Bay County.
Girls wrestling has taken off nationwide. It's growing. I want to say it's the fastest growing sport in the country right now on the high school level. But it's exploding, and it's here to stay. And those girls are really talented. As far as Bay County goes, you're right. There's a lot of talented kids here. There are several kids that placed at state last year here. There's several kids that qualified for state last year, and there's several that are ranked in the top 5 right now. From the different Bay County schools. As far as this particular tournament, year in and year out is the biggest tournament in not just Bay County but all of North Florida. This year it's not going to be because we're down to 21 boys teams and 18 girls teams. But last year, if you look at the statistics of this tournament from last year, of the 14 Mulligan champions from last year, 13 of them went on to medal at the state championships.
Wow.
All 14 of them qualified for the state championships, and 3 of them won the state championship. So there's a direct correlation between this tournament and qualifying for the state tournament and medaling for the state tournament. If you include all 28 finalists, 86% of them qualified for the state tournament.
Coach, Coach, what time? Now, Saturday, you start weigh-ins at 7:30, and the wrestling actually starts, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there?
It's going to start at 9:30.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. How much does it cost to get in?
I believe the gate fee is $10, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
That's something I don't deal with.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: 3 days they couldn't do anything. Are you worried or concerned about them making weight?
Everybody is, but the good news there, that was my first thought on Tuesday. So I emailed the director of wrestling for the FHSAA, and he agreed to give us a 2-pound weight allowance for boys and girls. There was precedence in the state, and they agreed to do that. So, and that's the maximum allowed weight allowance during a competitive season. So, that was a big relief. But as far as the kids not practicing, definitely concerned about the kids being winded in these matches. Concerned with them not being as crisp in the first couple rounds. But, pretty much everybody's in the same boat. We've got a few schools. We've got, a couple coming from Jacksonville, one coming from South Florida that weren't affected, but almost every school was affected. And we've got a bunch of schools, using our space tonight to practice and get some mat time in. So,
are any of the schools, say from Pensacola area, are they going to be able to get here? I guess the interstate's open now, though, right?
Yeah. The Pensacola area is coming. We got 4 or 5 teams: Gulf Breeze, Niceville, Crestview, Fort Walton Beach are coming. There was a couple teams from that area that had to drop out. Tate, Destin, I think, had to drop out. Pace had to drop out. We had 4 or 5 teams from Tallahassee coming. All of them had to drop out.
Wow.
We lost 4 of the 5 Georgia teams that were coming. And we lost 1 of the 3 Alabama teams that were coming. So we still have, of these 21 teams, we still have 3 states represented. We still have teams coming from South Florida. It's still going to be a competitive event. And it's just going to be a little different than it is in years past as far as logistics of the tournament go. Going from 2 days to 1.
That brings a lot of money into Bay County. That's a good thing you're doing. I know it's a lot of work on you guys, too. That's a lot of... How many officials you got to have? How many people you got to be working? I know Glenn's going to be doing... I think he should be there.
I'm going to the hospitality room. It's the best one in town.
That's the truth there.
Yeah. With the officials, we have 10 officials coming. We would have had 10 officials coming if it was a 2-day. Officials are based on how many mats you're running. We're running 7 mats, so you need 10 officials to cover that. Generally speaking, our officials bill is $8,000 to $9,000 on a 2-day. I don't know what to expect it being on a 1 day.
Yeah.
We have to put the officials in hotels. We have to pay for their mileage, all of that stuff as well. So, officials are very expensive for something like this.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on. We'll try to get you on next week, and you kind of tell us what happened, who did well, and all those things, okay?
Sure, yeah. A few Bay County athletes to look out for over there in North Bay Haven. You got Preston Newfield, Koa DeLoach. At Bay High, you got David Drake, Devin Bradshaw, Jalen Bennett. Just a few of the ones that have been there in the past and placed to look out for.
Sounds great, Coach. Hey, thank you for coming on this morning in short notice. We appreciate it. I hope it goes well for you, okay? We'll talk about the whole day, about people, trying to get people out there. Glenn will do it for sure. All right, buddy. Thank you, Coach. Bye-bye. All right, Glenn, tell everybody what time, where, how, when.
It's at the Bay High Cobb Gym. We call it, like the Cobb. And so be there, it's, the weigh-ins, the good food there while you're getting there. Just get something to eat, have great food. I'm sure they have souvenirs, like I have a hoodie and things like that. And it's a good cause. It starts at 9:30, the wrestling does, and there's plenty of seating. So when you come in, and I'm sure whatever they have an all-day pass. Used to when they had the 2-day, you had a 2-day pass. Right. You could buy that, and all kind of stuff. They'll take care of you, and if you're a coach, go in that hospitality room. But it's one of the best ones around.
Stay away from that pudding, though.
But anyway,
they got ribs usually.
All kind of stuff.
I sneak in there every now and then, acting like I was a coach.
But they treat you well. And I tell you one thing about what I really, besides the great wrestling, when they get through. That place is immaculate. It's cleaned up. And then last year, 2 years ago, when they started their girls, they did it in our STEM building. They had mats set up in the STEM building, and they cleaned that.
I think at a table. I had a great time out there. Yep. It's exciting. If you love wrestling, it's nonstop. There's plenty of matches going on. Right. You see 3 or 4 matches going on at a time. And like he said, I agree with him about women's wrestling probably being the fastest growing high school sport in the country, because when the first year they went out there, I think there was maybe 10 girls, but now you see hundreds of girls at camps, and they're hardcore. They don't care. They
It's kind of like
the difference between men and women. Men always think they know a little bit more about sports. Women just follow the coaching that they get, and some of them girls are just hardcore, and it's really fun to watch.
I can't get them to put on a turnbuckle or a ski mask, but I keep asking, but they laugh at me all the time.
You can't get the Diamond Dallas Page.
That's right. So, but it's a great time if you.
It really is.
If you've never seen a wrestling match, you need to go. It's all kinds of things going on at one time, and there's some serious people there. I mean, so
we've had good wrestling around Bay County. We've had guys going to Penn State. If you don't know much about college wrestling, Penn State is like going to Alabama or Ohio State.
Yeah. Jeff Skipper did a great job at all.
Yeah,
he does.
Eric Baker, they cut out the sport in middle school, right?
Right.
Well, Eric Baker and Laura and them, they were boosters at the time, they did that. They opened the gym up at night. What they call it? We had a name for it. I can't remember. You know what they call it?
I know you're talking about. Yeah, they still do. There's some stuff.
Yeah, they had it for all the kids. They had coaches and everything. So they kept it going.
There's still wrestling clubs in the off season for high school. They never stop. It's year round. So
yeah, that's kind of what it was. Yeah. But they wanted everybody to keep on.
Before we leave this segment, I want to get from the Southern boys here. Is it wrestling? Or is it wrestling?
Wrestling, man.
If you're going to say it right, it's wrestling. But
go wrestle.
If it's high school, it's wrestling. If it's NWA or Raw, it's wrestling.
When we get back, it will be Jim Barrett. A little bit on FSU. Not a lot going on right now. In the last couple of days, everybody's kind of been shut down over in Tallahassee, here and everywhere else. Jason Kovaleski, what's going on down at Max Fit Stores Sports Nutrition?
Well, now that we're back open, it's New Year's. I know a lot of people are trying to get in shape, so we have our certified sports nutritionists on staff. If you want to look into a meal plan, they break down what to eat, when to eat it. We use our InBody 570 for check-ins. That way we show you your results, and we can adjust the meal plan based on those results as well. So if you want to, just come down to either location. We're in Del Coronado Village on 23rd Street next to Black Sheep Armory, and then Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods. But we always have our free sample bar. If you want to come out, try some of our products, because I believe we have the best proteins, pre-workouts, amino acids. We have a free sample bar, which is huge for our customers. They can come in, they can try our products free before they buy it, take it to the gym, work out on it, taste it, see how it mixes. So just come out and try out some free products and see what you like, what you don't like. If you don't like anything, that's no harm, no foul.
The day we had all the snow, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday?
Tuesday.
Oh, well, Wednesday.
Afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday into Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday they wanted you off the roads, right? Everything was shut down. Everything. Paparazzi was open. Nice. It was packed out.
I bet.
Whew, you want some great food. You want a great lunch special, 2 huge slices of pizza. I always get them to cut it up, so I get like 4 slices. It's unbelievable. Paparazzi pizza. $11 and some change. Take Glenn down there with you. Get 1 lunch special is enough for 2 people. Just buy an extra drink. That's all you got to do. The bakery is incredible. Try the Paradise Cakes, the best you'll ever get. The lasagna, the spaghetti, everything's outstanding there. They got a bar down there now. That is Paparazzi Pizza right there on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Also, don't forget about Beef Braised over in Lynn Haven. The city commissioner of Lynn Haven is Pat Perno. He does a great job. Does an unbelievable job with Beef Braised in Lynn Haven. Every Wednesday, 10 wings inside for $9.99. They got the 10 for 10 going on always. Get down there Sunday, watch all the NFL games. Great place, great atmosphere. Beef Braised Lynn Haven. You want that yard to look beautiful? You want Patrick to come out there and get all the snow off it? They can do anything. Turpro Pest Control is #1. Listen to Patrick every Monday right here on 8:30 on ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, we're going to get some jewelry. Where are we going?
If you want a piece of ice, a diamond, then all you got to do is go to David Adamson Designer Jewelry. You can make it look like a snowman if you want to. Don't forget Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
So 25% off specials going on all the time. Mention ESPN, Coach Wildcat, David, any of
Coach
the programs
Hale.
right here.
You get more.
25% off.
30
They're already low prices.
Free for me.
That's David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
And don't forget, we're pumped up tomorrow. Be down there with us tomorrow. If we're not out of town, we're going to be down there. Local 115, the Vandegrift, the legendary Vandegrift family. Kyle's got some outstanding partners.
He does. Justin Nyland and some other people.
Justin, good boy.
Yeah,
good people. But Glenn, the local 115, historical downtown Panama City, kind of a healthier option. It's kind of an oyster sports bar theme. All pictures from all the different schools are down there, players, coaches, you name it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's amazing. The food's going to be outstanding. To be there tomorrow at 11 o'clock, be there. They open up at 11. I'm not sure what time they close, but they're going to have a great time. Try the Tommy Oliver draft beer. I wouldn't try the Glen Manley Yellow Water. I wouldn't do that. But the Tommy Oliver draft beer is outstanding. We're right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The Chiefs over the Texans, and I know the Texans, they're complaining about we had to beat the officials. If that's your mindset going into a game against Patrick Mahomes, feels like you're kind of defeated. You have no excuses other than your excuses.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 50 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 54. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 59 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Community Landscaping, your local dedicated experts, providing top-notch lawn care services and transforming your outdoor space. Expert mowing and trimming, precision edging and blowing, irrigation solutions, hardscaping designs, and even low-maintenance artificial turf. Community Landscaping, your full-service landscape design and maintenance company in Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, and 30A. Call Community Landscaping for a free quote, 850-704-5267.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Bill Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Do it again. Woo! FSU Update is brought to you by Newbies. Got to Newbies. 4 great locations. Newbies 2 on the curve. Glenn wanted it. They did it. They wanted one in St. Andrews. They did it for Glenn. It's a beautiful blue facility. Go check it out. You'll love it. All 4 of the Newbies. You will have a wonderful time. Newbies 2 on the curve. Go watch all the sporting events. And then head on down to the mothership on the weekends. I saw John and Charlotte last Friday night after our thing at Arnold. I ran to them, and we had a great visit with them. Beautiful people. I want to read this before we get into FSU, because I'm trying to decide, is this fake or real? This is a quote by the legendary Nick Saban. I don't think our best Alabama team could have beaten this Ohio State team. I saw it coming. That's why I retired. Nick Saban, when asked about the Ohio State Buckeye team.
Zero chance he said that.
Yeah. Anthony Franklin Jr. said this was written.
Yeah, that's the rat poison right there.
Yeah. First of all, I don't think he's going to talk about why he left and get into specifics, but it was more about NIL than any other team.
We could have been like making a joke.
There's so many fake AI stories on Facebook. If that's from Facebook, I probably guarantee it's probably fake.
I just don't think he'd cut down his team, his own team.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely not.
Okay, that's all I had. All right, let's give it FSU. What's going on in Tallahassee?
This is a combination of FSU and what Jason Kowaleski put on. I'm looking at it right now. This is a post he put. All right, this is college football payout rankings. And I'll be honest, I'm just a guy from Ohio. I don't necessarily follow all the money like you guys do. Whatever they want. The Big Ten got $46 million. SEC got $26 million. Notre Dame got $20 million. Big 12 got $8 million. Mountain West got $8 million, and ACC got $8 million. Now, I want to be sure we understand what we're talking about. Jason, I'm going to refer to you here in a second.
Yeah.
Does that mean that each of these teams got this amount? Or just the conference in general?
The total payout goes to the conference. The conference divides it up because not everybody has a 100% share in the Big Ten either. Yeah.
So
Notre Dame's the only school that doesn't have a conference, so they keep 100% of their money.
So however many teams there are in the ACC, was there 16, something like that, 18? So they got to split $8 million.
Right.
Big Ten's got to split $46 million. So even though they were 2-10,
Right.
Florida State is going to get a share of that $8 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what that comes down to.
Georgia got $3.5 million. Georgia.
I think the teams that advance get a little bit more of the pie. Like I think Ohio State probably got like 6 or 7
Texas
million.
got $10.25 million. They played more games.
Right. And so did Ohio State, and they won more games. You actually get money for winning too, which is what I like about it. So.
I saw these figures. And I wasn't exactly sure what they represented.
But the outlier on there is that Notre Dame brought in almost as much money as the entire SEC that had to divide it up again.
That's not right.
No, not at all. And that's a huge
Ohio State
advantage.
made on average per game $2.56 million. Now they didn't tell you in this article. I looked it up. Each team also received $3 million to cover all their expenses.
Right.
$3 million. Now I don't know if that's $3 million for each game or all the games. It couldn't $3 million if you're Ohio State and you played 4 games, and some of these other teams played 1. So I'm wondering if it's $3 million across the board. Is it $3 million? They didn't say that. They didn't.
I didn't really dive into that one. I just saw the payouts and thought it was interesting.
Surely it had to be $3 million
when they
per
were
game.
talking about the ACC, they said that Clemson and FSU would draw the most fans and money until FSU started losing more. Then the people that watched it dropped off. FSU still drew the most people to watch those games, even when they were losing.
In the ACC? Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
they're still the biggest draw to me. I mean, them and Clemson. Miami's been so inconsistent. They haven't won anything in 20 years. So
a long time.
Once Miami lost the first game, they really.
All right, we talked about this a year ago about the Ohio State. I mean, not the Notre Dame deal. We said, well, the highest delivery will be 5th, so they're gonna have to play an extra game. They'll never get a bye. Now, what they're saying, which they should, it's the best 12 teams to get the conferences, or at least. No buys.
Right. No automatic buys.
No automatic buys.
Right. Let's rank them 1 through 12.
So Ohio State came out smelling like a rose. They played the easiest schedule. And they were good. They're good. They're good. I like their coach. I like their players. Character people, no doubt about that. But they've got the easiest schedule of everybody now. They're like the Big 12. They do. Look at their schedule. Look who they play. Army, Navy, Air Force.
You talking about
Notre Dame?
I'm talking about Notre Dame. Who did I say?
Ohio State.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Notre Dame.
Oh, no, yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. I got the Buckeyes.
That's the difference between being in a conference and not, because when you have a conference like the Big Ten or SEC, you got an Ole Miss, you got an Auburn sitting around the corner. Yeah. There's no days off. Even Vanderbilt this year was not.
They got it made.
You know, we've talked about this a lot, about who's going to go where and all this, that, and the other. If this is really true, and Notre Dame benefited by getting $20 million just for them, and everybody else has got to split $8 million, I guarantee you those money people at the SEC and the Big Ten goes like, this is the only time this is ever going to happen.
Yeah.
This is never going to happen again. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, because I don't see Notre Dame going to a conference anytime soon. Why would they? There's no reason.
They got it
to.
made.
They've got it made.
James Franklin, give him credit. He called him out.
Yeah, he did.
Right to his face.
Yeah, he did.
And it's not Marcus Freeman's problem. I mean, that's administration, that's NCAA, that's Big Ten, SEC. But I guarantee the Big Ten and SEC are meeting right now, or they have been, and saying, we will not let this happen. They're too competitive. Right. They know how much of an advantage that is. When you have Notre Dame making $20 million and pocketing it all, and the SEC's making $26 million and dividing it 14 ways, that's a huge advantage for Notre Dame.
Question.
If you add that up over a 5-year period, that's $100 million. Versus 20 for each team, that's an $80 million difference. I mean,
yeah, and that's like the ACC. They could have paid FSU and Florida State more money and they could show them on paper. Look, when the TV sets are on, this is who they're watching.
Right.
You guys are nowhere to be found. We're going to have to pay them more money, and that might have kept them not wanting to leave. And now, though, the kind of year FSU is having or had, I don't know who wants them right now that bad.
It doesn't look good right now, but it's still FSU.
Or Clemson, to be honest with you.
They still are a draw.
Yeah, they're still a draw.
To me, the team out there is North Carolina.
I think it's Notre Dame still. I think the SEC Big Ten, they're never going to, they're going to leverage them. They're going to have Big Ten teams stop, scheduling them. They're going to have SEC teams stop scheduling them. They could freeze them out. Notre Dame doesn't have that much power. We've allowed them to have this power because they allowed them not to, join a conference. So I think if the SEC and Big Ten to get together and they lean on them a little bit, they'll be in a conference for 3 years.
When the pandemic hit, the ACC bailed them out. They should not have bailed them out.
Yeah.
Because they gave them some games. And then they should have said, well, we'll give you games if you join the conference.
I think that could be an option, and I think it could save the ACC in the short term because I don't think Notre Dame wants any part of the Big Ten or SEC. They could have joined the Big Ten 20 years ago, but they get whooped by the Big Ten. So I think, if ACC, Big Ten, or SEC, Big Ten lean on them, the ACC might be where they end up.
See, Brian Kelly, you stayed at Notre Dame. You've been playing for a championship.
You can't play for a
Easier
championship
path.
at Notre
LSU
Dame.
plays a real schedule, so you're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. The legendary
Nice
Jay
Florida State
Michaels.
update. I appreciate that.
Okay.
The legendary Jay Michaels Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Today's special is Chris Fish.
How crisp is it?
It's really good. You've had it. You know how outstanding it is. Peppers, onions, mushroom, onions over bed of rice, and this beautiful grilled fish. Special sauce if you like it. It's unbelievable. You will love it. They also got the best seafood. Great steaks. Ask Jason Kovaleski. Just never buy him one. And great burgers. The legendary Jay Michael, South Oton and Closing. For all real estate closing, do what Mark Cowart does. Mark Cowart is a legend down here in Southwest Florida and Northwest Florida. And the Southeast. The guy can sell anything. South Oton Closing, #1. That's all he uses.
Come on, Ernest T.
It's a Friday. I'm about to say it's a Monday. It's a Friday.
Mr. Kelce.
And Stevens Air Conditioning. It's cold, and the winter's not going away. You just heard it here first. Jason said we're going to have another blizzard here. And what
coming.
date?
You heard it.
What date?
You want the exact date? It's going to be February 8th. Mark it on your calendar.
At 9 o'clock.
February 8th.
Cancel school.
It's coming. It's coming.
Don't go to work.
And they say
don't
we
pay your
don't talk
taxes.
about the weather.
What's that, about 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We talk about it whether or not anybody wants to listen.
Stevenson Air Conditioning. Call Jason. They'll come out. They'll give you prepared. They do an incredible job. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. I want to thank newbies for the FSU update. Again, I saw John and Charlotte. They were at Firefly. They are beautiful inside and out. Always giving back to the community. Make sure you go support them and all 4 newbies. Newbies Who's on the Curve. Go watch all the sporting events. Then head on down to the mothership and have a great time. The best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. The legendary newbies. We're back, Jeff Spiegel, hopefully from the great state of Alabama. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Watch any golf this weekend? No.
Did you?
A little bit.
Yeah. Great.
All right, keep going, Ryan.
You threw me. I don't even know where I'm going now.
It's like a duck in the water that just got shot in the head by a BB gun. You're like,
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 50 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 54. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 59 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Your home for Super Bowl 59. WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs. With great drink specials daily from 2 to 5. And during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coast James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa, Alabama update. Brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, it's coming again. February 8th, we're going to get hit again.
Yeah.
We heard it here first.
Don't start that rumor.
You heard it here. Hey, Jason, what Jason says, it goes.
It was on
man.
Facebook. It's not a rumor.
It's true.
Everything you see online is the truth.
They had fact checkers and everything.
Is it true?
So it's 100%
8
true.
inches of snow this time, not 5?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I know what...
If you got Stevenson Air Conditioning, you have no worries. We got Jeff Spiegel. We have no worries whatsoever. Jeff, how you doing this morning, sir?
Well, I got to tell you something. Tuesday, I can't remember. Well, I can remember a lot of days about my heart being so filled with joy. But you guys getting that snow, I mean, that just gave me a happy feeling. I'm so happy for y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We appreciate the recognition. We really do.
James was out making snowmen out here.
Yeah.
He was.
Jeff, you wouldn't believe it. I walked to the radio station because I wanted to be here for the people on the radio.
Uphill.
Nobody was here. I had to turn around and walk back home.
Pick up your shoes. Pick up them.
He rode his boat across the river.
Yeah. Whatever it takes.
I can.
You walked uphill both ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had to keep him from eating the yellow snow. That was a bad one.
More taste.
Oh man.
That was that Italian ice flavor, but it wasn't.
You wouldn't believe. I mean, honestly, we started snowing. My son called me. He was excited. So we drove down to their house, which is just not. We live on the same street. And drove down there. And
next door.
The girls are out in the snow going crazy. They were like, yes, I think it might have been the first time they've seen snow. And so it was, anyway, go back. And that stuff was coming down.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything like it,
Yeah.
at least not south of, where I used to live up in Ohio. I mean, the ground was covered within 15 minutes.
It was
I mean,
crazy.
And it stuck, and it kept coming down. I think we got 6 or 7 inches on the ground.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
in the moonlight, you could look out and see. You didn't even, it was absolutely gorgeous. But
so
now
cool.
the next morning when you got out, you had to be careful. Because if you stepped on the sidewalk with tennis shoes on, you're going to be on your butt. So you had to be real careful. We had a great time. They shut down people were freaking out. They shut down everything for 2 days.
Is it true that you went around house to house singing Elvis songs? Elvis sings Christmas carols?
Not every house, but most of them. But hey, how did it get in Birmingham? How cold did it get?
I think the coldest it got was 8, 7. I think there was some. I think there was one place that got as low as 4.
Good Lord! Y'all didn't get any snow though, did you? Did you get snow?
No snow at all. No,
Ouch.
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insult to injury there.
Hey, I got 2 people that they're Big Ten guys, and they made a comment about Saban has to be seen. I thought that it was really sweet of him and Miss Terry giving $300,000 at the national championship game. I mean, if they give $300,000, they should be on TV. That's just my opinion.
I don't have a problem with Saban at all. What are you making up over here?
Yeah, I've never had.
I'm voting for him as next commissioner. I mean, I don't mind him at all. I think he does a lot of great for college football, and I think he has a lot of great ideas to fix college football. So I'm on board with Saban.
I think he did a lot for Ohio State, telling those people to cool it with Ryan
For sure,
Day.
because he knows that pressure.
Because you got
cooker.
the most guy with the most respect.
Absolutely.
Saying the right things.
And he knows Ryan Day, and he knows he's a good man. You know what I mean? You know.
Well, absolutely. I totally agree. I'm totally on board with with what he said about the Ohio State, fan base. So look, any fan base has, somewhat of a lunatic fringe.
Yeah.
With it.
He's right here.
Let me tell you what I did.
Let me tell you what I did.
Let me tell you what I did.
I killed all them trees at Toomer's Corners. What do you think about that, huh?
Jeff, was that true? That was one of your cousins?
Oh, no. Come on now. No,
still laugh about that.
Oh.
But I'm sure, the majority of Ohio State fans are, pretty rational, and
right.
it was. But I was happy for the Buckeye Nation. Here's the thing about Ohio State, that the only thing about Ohio State that kind of annoys me a little bit is this Ohio against the world kind of thing.
Yeah, they overplay that too much, I think.
You guys had the best team. You had the most talent. And it was an adventure to get to where you wanted to go, but I'm happy that you got there.
Right.
I love when teams self-inflict wounds and they use it as motivation to galvanize themselves. Like Michigan did it last year with the cheating scandal. Like, oh my God, Michigan against the world.
Yeah.
You cheated.
Yeah.
Like you did
cheating.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to use motivation. Whatever drives those kids, it worked, and that's what most coaches are trying to bottle up.
Jeff, I want to get this in here for the legendary Nick Saban. Him and his beautiful wife, Miss Terry. She is a beautiful lady inside and out. Jeff, you know them. They gave $300,000 extra yard for teachers, some kind of foundation. I don't know what the money goes for, but that's still for them to do that. They didn't have to do that. And she's big on that. I know in Alabama every year they do something for teachers up there. They give away homes. They build a home. They give it away. They do a lot of things that people outside of Alabama don't understand or don't know about. And they're special people. They really are.
Yeah, they've worked a lot with Habitat for Humanity, and the Nick's Kids Foundation has raised, millions of dollars for various charities. And you're right, every year, Terry does a big luncheon and honors, the teachers of the year. And she's big on education and giving back, and so so is Nick. And every time Nick talks about Nick's Kids, he says, "Well, that's Terry started that." He gives all the credit to Terry, but they've both done a lot of work for this for the Tuscaloosa community for sure.
Did you hear what he did with his first big bonus check he got? I don't know if it was Kent State, maybe it was with the NFL. I can't remember, and I don't know who told me this, Kirby or Jeremy, somebody. They told me that he paid off his mother and father-in-law's house when first time he got some big money. I mean, he's a good man. He really is. Some people hate him, some people love him, but you got to kind of respect the guy. He's a special man.
He does. He has a big heart, and one of the best things I've seen on TV was that hour and 15-minute interview that he did on that podcast, The Pivot. I mean, you got to go back and watch that. It's on YouTube, and it's probably got a gazillion views. But that was a terrific interview, and he was very candid, talking about his career and, players that he's coached and all of that. And it was really just an incredible, view if you want to go back and look at something this weekend.
Who interviewed him?
Ryan Clark, who played for him at LSU, I think.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I think that's his podcast, and he's got a couple of other guys on there that, whose names I can't recall at the moment, but it was really good. He was relaxed. He was funny. They asked him if he was done coaching. He goes, "I think so."
Yeah, yeah.
Which kind of got some people's attention, but then he went into detail about how, the 2023 season was so hard on him.
Yeah.
And then he felt like if he kept working that hard, I mean, he was going to kill himself eventually, Jeff,
was that really the one? Stuff. Was that the one where this agent asked him, "Do you want to?"
Yes.
Do you want to be Bear Bryant of college football, or do you want to be the Vince Lombardi of the NFL? Is that the interview?
That's the one.
I saw some of that.
And Nick said, I said Bear Bryant. Jimmy Sexton said, "Well, what are you doing going to Miami then?"
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he talked about his career. Probably the worst mistake he made is not staying at LSU, going to the NFL. And it showed you what a great guy he was. Drew Brees' agent said, "Can you keep a lid on this? We'll never get him signed with anybody." And he didn't say anything about the reason they didn't get him, even though Dr. Andrews said, "Hey, he's good to go, Nick."
Yeah. He also talked about his 5 favorite players that he coached at Bama. He told a really funny, Derrick Henry story about how, Derrick just couldn't get the pass blocking. He said, "Look, when I was in high school, all I did was they tossed the ball back to me and I ran. That's the only thing I know about football." And so it was really good stuff.
Who were the other 4 players? I didn't see that part.
Tua, Julio Jones.
Yeah, that's some good ones.
Reuben Foster.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, you know, isn't that one of those things, you always have a hard time coming up with a 5th? Rolando McClain.
Number 25.
One of the players,
yes.
the linebacker,
6'5".
Scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the one that wanted to go beat up the guys on campus, and Nick trying to talk him out of it. Yeah, go beat him up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That guy was, he was kind of crazy.
No fear.
I wish Eddie would have listened. We got to take a break. God, we hit everything. We get back, we got Jeff Spiegel with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about Auburn, a little bit of Alabama. Jeff, do you see where the first over-under for 2025 football season, they got Bama at 8.5.
Ooh.
8.5. He will be in trouble if he doesn't get over 8.5. I'm telling you that right now.
The bookies,
talking about Florida State.
Yeah, the bookies will be down there if he doesn't get over 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 overall record. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we got
Okay.
Think about that.
I thought you were talking about point spread with that.
No, and I'm gonna hit this hard Monday with Dr. Mitchell.
Wow,
but
sure.
Their schedule is difficult, but he better win more than 8 games.
He wins 8 games. I fear for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
At least his future at Alabama.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
They'll just put a moving van right in front of his house.
Let's talk about some of our great people. We have so many. It's amazing. If you're over in the great city of Lynn Haven, get out to Beef O'Brady's. They do such a wonderful job over there. Every Wednesday, 10 wings inside for $9.99. They got the 10 for 10 going on. Go watch the NFL games this weekend at Beef O'Brady's and have a great time. College basketball is Beef O'Brady. Have a great time. You will have a great time over there. I guarantee you that. Turpo Pest Control. You want that yard look beautiful? They can do it. Listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, I want some fine jewelry. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do?
You're going to go just in time for the Valentine's holiday. You're going to go to David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. Mention ESPN, Coach Hale, Wildcat, David, or Ryan, any of those names that have to do with ESPN Radio. And
you get more money when you mention mine.
Additional 25% off their low prices, and they've got new inventory in, so check it out. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
And we are all pumped up. We are pumped up about this. This Saturday, 11 o'clock, the grand opening, historical downtown, the local 115. You're going to love it. It's an oyster bar with a sports theme. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soups, salads, wings, ice-cold beer. Nothing fried, a healthier option, lunch and dinner. Try the Tommy Oliver draft beer. You will absolutely love it. Yes, it comes in at one price. You're going to have to pay a lot more when you get the bill. That is Tommy Oliver.
That's cruel. That's cruel.
Y'all got it. You got it. That's pretty good. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Somebody write that for you.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Meet the Buffalo Bills. They are the new Kansas City Chiefs with a more dynamic offense. The Bills finally, and we've been saying this all year, this is the best supporting cast Josh has had.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 50 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 54. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 59 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach is celebrating 60 years of caring and sharing in our community with the Diamond Jubilee Gala Dance and Charity Auction. Come out, mingle with friends, dance to great music, bid on fun auctions, and support a worthy cause. The Diamond Jubilee Gala Dance and Charity Auction is Saturday, February 1st from 6 until 10 at the Boardwalk Beach Hotel and Convention Center, 9600 South Thomas Drive. For details, visit the Women's Civic Club, WCCPCB.org.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicier food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Martha, Kenny, Jane, Jenna. All them wonderful Auburn Tigers. That's just over, Tommy, over right across the bridge here. Auburn, huge basketball game. Tennessee, this is a huge game. Before we get into all that, Jeff, we got to go back and put our heads together and come up with this. We got to help out DeBoer. In the great state of Alabama, the top 10 recruits, 8 of them, Hugh Freeze brings them into Auburn. Great job. Give him a hand. Great job. Good job. War Eagle. Great job. The other 2, the number 1 player in the country in the state of Alabama goes to Oregon. The number 1 rated player goes to Oregon. The 7th best player in the state of Alabama goes to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Alabama, 0 top 10 players. Let's look at the state west of us, the great state of Mississippi. The Harvard of the South is in there. The University of Southern Mississippi. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get a degree from there.
According to you.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm so much highly intelligent than these other people in this room.
Well, you can't check out but one coloring book from the library.
That's right.
So.
Some of them aren't colored in.
All right, the great state of Mississippi. Auburn goes in and gets the top 2 players, two of their top players. And we're talking about the 10 players from Mississippi. LSU gets 6 of them. Wait, let me go back. LSU got the number 6 player. FSU got the number 10th best player. Alabama got the number 3 player. Ole Miss got 3 of them. And Mississippi State got the other 3. So 6 of them stayed in state. The rest of them went to either Alabama, LSU, Auburn, whatever. Let's look at Georgia, the state east of us. Their top 10 players, the Georgia Bulldogs got 5 of them. The number 1 player, the number 2, the number 4, and the number 5, and the number 10. Texas got a player. Tennessee got a player. Georgia Tech got 2. Colorado got 1. What's going on? How can that happen? We are not dominating. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna listen.
Here's why no one's panicking. Is that you look at the recruiting rankings and they're 4th. So they're getting good players, and yeah, I mean, Freeze made it a priority, to get, some of the best players in the state, and he's done a really good job with that. So, but here's where what it all boils down to is, can you recruit them? Can you coach them? Can you get a great recruiting class? But can you coach them up? And so that's the challenge with Hugh Freeze. He's got these recruiting classes lined up now. Now can he coach these guys? And, to that extent, to me, he's still very unproven. I mean, when it comes to Auburn, he beat Nick Saban 2 years in a row. And that's really the only thing he can hang his hat on is that. That's why he got the job at Auburn. So, he's got to follow up, and he's got to win some football games. And, you mentioned DeBoer about the 8.5 over-under on wins. It better be close to 8 than 9, or it better be close to 9 than 8.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to be more than 9, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, he's got to get to the playoff, or his seat is extremely hot. So, but he's recruited some good players. He's got good players in there. He's got a pretty good roster coming in. As far as DeBoer goes, the quarterback issue is obviously, of high priority because there are some good guys on that team that he can distribute the ball to, but the quarterback's got to be the right guy.
You're right. He better have a good year. But I want to go back to 2023. You had a Michigan team went 15-0. You had Washington was 14-1, the number 2 team in the country. The number 3 team in the country, Texas, 12-2. Alabama was number 4, 12-2, and really the only team that gave Michigan a game. Then you had number 5, FSU, 13-1. That's your top 5 teams in 2023. You know how many teams made it to the playoffs? Not 4-team playoff, but a 12-team playoff? 1.
Texas.
1.
Yeah, right.
Just 1.
Yeah.
So you don't know from year to year what's going to happen. And he better have a good year.
NIL in the portal has changed everything.
Yeah, you talked about development, but I think it's keeping them. Can you retain them? I mean, can you keep them in your? I mean, I'm going to use this. This kills James Hale, but Caleb Downs is an Ohio State first. I never thought in a million years we were going to get him. Never. Even when I said, he's going to end up with Kirby Smart. So you never know. The most unapproachable guys may end up changing. You just never know.
Yeah,
hey, Jeff,
that's so true.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I was just saying that's so true. And in fact, last night Taylor DeBoer was at a coaching clinic in Montgomery, and he's always good to give his time and do interviews, and he talked about how NIL has kind of changed everything, and how he's a relationship-driven coach, and how you do have to make adjustments for what is going on out there in the world. But the bottom line is, do your guys buy into what you're teaching, no matter what your roster is, no matter how much it changed from the year before? Do they buy into what you're teaching and your approach and where you're going? Ryan Day got that done. Marcus Freeman got that done, did a beautiful job at Notre Dame, and that's the key. And there were some instances during this past season where it looked like they weren't buying in at all to what DeBoer was selling. Exactly. And that was kind of disturbing to Alabama fans.
Yeah.
I think it happened with Auburn, too, because you saw Hugh Freeze throwing his quarterback under the bus. They weren't running Jacquez Hunter. When you have a player of that caliber and you just kind of go away from him for stretches of games, you're losing games, throwing picks late in the season, your team's going to look around and be like, okay, it's not us, it's them, and that creates some divisiveness in the locker room. So I think both teams had some issues. Auburn's got to find a quarterback. I mean, they got talent everywhere. If you look at the recruiting class, defensive line, linebackers, wide receivers, they got 3 5-stars now with the back-to-back classes. They have to hit on either Jackson Arnold. Deuce Knight, I think, is a little too young to come in there and start right away in the SEC. But if he's the guy, he's the guy. He's got to find a quarterback, or I just don't see him being there another 2 years.
Yeah, no, I don't either. And it looks like Jackson Arnold is the guy that, they're going to, kind of put the saddle on and ride with. Because you're right. I mean, if you have to start a freshman quarterback, in this league, I mean, he's going to get eaten alive unless he's just an extremely special talent. And I'm talking about more than a 5-star guy. I'm talking about a guy who's just got that it factor, who plays like a senior. And there aren't many, true freshmen that play like seniors in the SEC.
Maybe like the kid from Florida, basically.
Yeah. Jeff, go back to Auburn's last bowl game. They had 3 weeks to get ready. They go to Memphis. They had, I don't know if you heard some of the things that happened with the coaching staff up there, but they looked pathetic. They got killed by Maryland. They looked like they weren't prepared. And then you look at Alabama this year, from the great state of Alabama where football is the king, Alabama looked pathetic against a JV team from Michigan. So you're right. Things got to get better. Both football programs have got to get better. The field, though, to me, the field is like Auburn is heading in the right direction, but he hadn't done it on the field yet. Alabama, I know they got a great class, number 2 recruiting class in the country coming in, but I don't feel that way about Alabama when I see what I saw from this year's team. And I know the first year's the toughest. The kids got to learn your system, got to learn about you. but the lack of discipline and the things I saw this year really bothered me. I got a better feeling about Auburn than I do in Alabama. How do you feel? I mean, you've been there since 1983 covering these teams. Do you feel better about the future of Auburn football or Alabama right now?
Well, I mean, I look at the two head coaches, and I still have more confidence in Kalen DeBoer than I do Hugh Freeze. I think it's going to come down what happens on that first week, and Alabama's a 7.5-point favorite to beat Florida State.
Yeah.
In Tallahassee.
Yeah.
If they go in there and they win that football game, then that's got a lot of positive mojo going. But the wheels are going to start coming off this bus early if you go in there and you lose that game to Florida State. Now, look, Mike Norvell's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to prove. I mean, he's got to save his job, basically. So how big would a win over one of the premier football programs in the history of college football be if you're a guy who's trying to save your job? So they're going to walk into a hornet's nest down there. There are a lot of hungry Seminole fans who want to win, and if they go in there and they lose that game, then it's going to be a rough year. That's a rough start to what could be a rough year.
We got to go. I wanted to get your input on the Auburn-Tennessee game. I kind of got off schedule here, and I apologize for that. You got to go, right?
No, I'm totally cool. Whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I want to come back and ask you about, and we won't keep you the whole time. But I just want to ask you what you think. Kind of break down the Auburn-Tennessee. I think it's a huge game this weekend in the SEC. All right, we really appreciate you doing this. Jess Spiegel with us. We get back. We're going to talk about the Auburn-Tennessee basketball game at Auburn. It's a huge game. And I don't know. I feel good about Auburn, though. They're at home. But we shall see. Let's talk about some of our great people. Again, we told you a little while ago about the local 115 down in historical Panama City. Get down there and check it out. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Go there, have lunch. I think Lynn's going to be down there. Jason's going to try to get by there. Jim's going to try to get by there. This, you don't get a brand new opening but one time. I'm looking forward to this. And they do. I'm not kidding. They got a Tommy Oliver draft beer, and I heard it's pretty good. So go check it out. Jason, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Tell everybody where you're located.
We're located on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. So we're next to Black Sheep Army and Tzatziki. So I'm usually there, middle of the day, 2 to 5, 6. So if you ever want to come and talk to me, but we got Sia working down there. She's certified in sports nutrition. She can write meal plans. We got a free sample bar at both locations, and we are located in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Tell you what, they know what they're doing. If you got a son or daughter involved in sports, you want to get the edge, go down and spend some time with Jason. The guy's incredible. Also, let's take a break. No, wait a minute. Beef Braised Lynn Haven, thank you for the Auburn update. You're over in Lynn Haven, get out to Beef Braised. We'll be right back with Jess Spiegel, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
We came in here the morning after Detroit lost to San Francisco in the NFC Championship game last year, and I said they will rue that loss, this assumption that they just get right back to this spot next year because they seem a year ahead of schedule because they're so young and good, and this is just the beginning. I've seen that happen in sports a million times. It usually doesn't go that way.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. The road is yours in 2025. Let Kia take you on New Year adventures and drive away today in a new 2025 Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage with $1,748 per month per 1,000 finance and 60 months. Quality's limited, not to be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 2/3/25.
With
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
These men need inspiration.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
They're motivated by Vicodin and road skank.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Football, halfway through the season, we had so many key teams in the SEC ranked in the top 12, it was scary. Basketball, we're halfway through. We got so many teams ranked in the top 10 is crazy. Baseball, getting ready to get cranked up in about 3 weeks, and we're going to dominate that also. But, Jeff, my question, we're going to talk about Auburn, but I want to ask you this. Are we really that good in SEC basketball? Or halfway through the football season, it was all about the SEC. By the end of the year, we only had 3 teams in the playoffs. Are we for real in basketball, or is it going to be like football? By the end of the year, we're not going to have all these teams in the Final 16 or the Final 4 and all that stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, I'll tell you who is for real. Whoever wrote that spot about the best place to go to take a leak, I mean, that's brilliant writing right there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you write that, Coach?
It's commercial.
I don't like bragging about what I do, but yeah, I did.
That is a catcher, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that's unbelievable. No, look, I mean, the SEC is going to, here's the thing that could happen. They could wind up beating each other up to the point where at the end of the year, nobody's got anything left in the tank, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the SEC is going to, rule the postseason in basketball. I think they could have 2 teams in the Final 4. It could be Alabama and Auburn in the Final 4. I mean, because those 2 guys are, Auburn's number 1, Alabama's number 3 in the coaches poll. And when it comes to this basketball game, Auburn playing Tennessee, I mean, everybody talks about Alabama's big win at Rupp Arena, and it was great, and they were terrific in that game. But Neville Arena right now is twice as hard to play in as Rupp Arena is. Rupp Arena used to be the most feared arena to walk into, like in the country, but Neville Arena, if you're an opponent going into Neville Arena, I mean, your knees have got to be knocking before you take the floor in that game, because that arena is rocking, and those fans are absolutely crazy. And so I got no doubts that Auburn's going to beat Tennessee tomorrow, and with or without Jani Broome. They've proven the last 2 games they can win without him. They'd rather have him on the floor, but I think they're a really, really good basketball team, even without him on the floor, and they've proven that.
What about Florida? How good is Florida?
Well, I think Florida's really good. I mean, they've proven. I mean, they laid an egg against Tennessee, and you're going to see that all year. You're going to see some games where you go, "Holy cow, how good are these guys?" I mean, they got beat because the teams you're playing are really, really good, and it's just. No, I'm sorry. Florida lost to Missouri. Florida manhandled Tennessee. But you're going to see games like that all year where you have scores like that. But the win they got at South Carolina, and I know South Carolina was 0-5 going into that game, but to come from 5 down with a minute 16 to go and win that thing was incredible. Wednesday night was an amazing night of basketball because you had 3 teams that won, and they were ahead in the game by a total of 54 seconds. And they wound up pulling all those out. Coach Cal is pulling his hair out in Arkansas because, this league is twice as good as the league that he left when he left the Kentucky job. And then he hopped back into the Arkansas job, and it turns out it's a much tougher league than it was when he was in Kentucky. So it's amazing what's going on in the league.
And you talking about Auburn. If they wanted to sell, if you got season tickets to Auburn, you want to make money, you could sell those tickets this weekend and make a killing. And then think about Alabama-Auburn game, the Iron Bowl in Auburn, how much they can make money off those tickets. It's crazy what they're going for in basketball in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, and the schedule maker for the SEC, I mean, they scheduled both those games on the weekend, on a Saturday, which was just brilliant. So the first one's coming up February 15th in Tuscaloosa, and you're right, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be like the biggest Alabama-Auburn basketball game we have ever seen, and I just can't wait for it to get here. I think it's going to be tremendous theater.
Well, Jeff, I want to thank you so much for coming on and staying extra. I know you're a busy man. Hey, everything's kind of slow up there for his high schools. Did they shut down and close everything up for his high schools up there with this cold weather?
There have been some schools that have been struggling with heat. There's a school in Birmingham that had some issues with, keeping students warm and all of that. And I just wanted to tell them about the days when, Coach, you were going to the one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah, I used to walk to school, yes.
That's right. Come on, man. You got to toughen up. Toughen up these kids. Focus.
Yeah, they'll survive anything. Hey, thank you, buddy. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next Friday, okay?
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Jeff. All right, I got you three guys. I got to ask you a question. We talked about it a minute ago. 2023, again, 15-0 Michigan, national champs, okay? Win the Big Ten, they go undefeated. Unbelievable football team. They didn't make it in 2024. Number 2, Washington, 14-1. They didn't make it back in 2024. And we're talking 12 opportunities, not 4, but 12. Texas was 12-2. They're the only team out of the top 5 to make it back. Bama didn't. They were 12-2, ranked number 4. They didn't get back. Out of 12 teams, Bama didn't get in. Florida State was 13-1. They fell completely apart. My question to you guys, let's go to the top 5 teams right now, and they're going to make it back in the 12-team playoff in 2025. The number 1 team in the country, loaded with talent, 14-2. Will they make it back, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the national champs, or will they pull a Michigan and not make the 12-team playoff? Jason Kovaleski, will the Buckeyes be back?
Yes, I think they'll take a step back in a couple areas. They're just so senior dominated up front on the defensive line, so their defense might take a step back. But they got Julian Sain coming in at quarterback, so they got the quarterback position solidified.
Thank you, roll tide.
And last time I checked, they still have Jeremiah Smith and Caleb down, so 100% they're going to be in the playoffs.
Glenn Manley.
Yes.
Is the Buckeyes in, or are they out of the 2025 12-team playoff?
Yeah, they'll be in the 12-team playoff.
Okay, all right. I just remember last year we all thought, oh, yeah, they're in there. Okay. Jim Brandt, are they in?
Yes, they'll be in. They do start with Texas at Columbus, the first game of the season.
Baby.
I'll be at that game, hopefully.
But I'm like what Jason said. Yeah, obviously they lose a lot of players, obviously. But they got a lot left. And that's why you recruit. But I haven't seen Julian saying more than just a few plays.
Oh, he's good. I'm telling you, he's good.
Everybody said he's the real deal, so we'll find out.
But they do have some competition. They got Tavian St. Clair coming in, 6'5", number 2 quarterback overall, number 2 overall player in the country. So he's a 5-star elite player. So it's just not saying. They got a quarterback room that rivals anybody as far as talent.
So all the experts have Buckeyes back in. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Notre Dame. They were 14-2. They just lost the national championship. Will they make the 12-team playoff in 2025? What say you, Jim Brandt?
Absolutely.
They're in. Glenn Manley.
They're in.
Jason Kovaleski.
I say yes. They got to get in conference. Their schedule's too easy, and they've recruited really well. I think they're going to be better in the future than they were even this year.
They should. Easy schedule. We all got them in. Now, number 3, I think still maybe the second best team I think they were the second best team. Oregon, 13-1, got screwed by the committee. Your first game in the playoff was against the Ohio State Buckeye team you already beat. They got screwed over. Will they be back with all the money that we all give to Nike? All the other teams are helping them become stronger, wealthier, and they're using the money to destroy us.
Right.
Is Oregon going to be making the playoffs next year in 2025? Glenn Manley, is Oregon in?
Yes, the best team money can buy.
Jason Kowaleski, are they in?
I would say yes, and I would pick them to win the Big Ten as of today, just because of who they recruited. Their quarterback spots really solidified with Dante Moore, and they got some studs coming in at wide receiver.
Jim Brandt, are they in?
I would say yes.
Okay.
You got to remember now, you only got to be in the top 12.
Right.
Okay.
You don't have to be the 1 or 2 team or in top 4. Top 12, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Okay. The Texas Longhorns, 13-3. They played the national championships probably closer than anybody. The Buckeyes 28-14. Will Texas be in, Jason Kowaleski?
Yes, in a top 4 seed. I think they win the SEC next year.
Will they be in?
Yes, they'll be in. Again, like Jim said, you're talking about 12 spots now.
Are you? They're gonna
Yes.
be number 5. Now, if anybody can screw it up, it's him. James Franklin, Penn State. Were they didn't they lose? They're losing some players.
They bring in a lot back. Both running backs.
Are they in?
Left 100%. They're in. They're going to be the favorite, and I don't agree with it to win the Big Ten next year because Aller's coming back, Singleton's coming back, the other running backs coming back. They got defensive players coming back.
Are they in?
I think so too. They smelled it, so now they're getting after it.
Are they in?
Yes.
All right. Let's go back. These 3 guys would have picked the exact same thing they did this year. You think Michigan was going to make a 12-team play? Yes, we all did. Come on.
No,
Come on.
not with the coaching change.
No.
Come on.
No way.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
We all had them like 6 and 6, 7 and 5.
You're asking
right.
2 Ohio State guys?
Yeah.
What are they think?
Even if we thought they
Let's
did,
be
we would
fair
say
and
no.
balanced. Did you think they would have made it 12 teams? Come on, 12?
No, they didn't. They did
But
not
did you
have-
think it this time last year?
I did not.
I didn't.
None of us did. You
Because it
did.
changed.
Remember
All right.
once Harbaugh left
When
and he
you-
rated their entire
Okay,
staff?
okay.
I want to say
okay.
this for the record. I haven't dwelled on it all. The hammer is coming for them. Okay, if you don't think so, you're not listening.
There's some
The
rumblings.
hammer is coming for them.
Okay. We'll leave it there and come back and
Okay.
get their opinion on the next
just
4
saying.
teams. It could all happen to these teams like it happened
For sure.
to Florida State, how it happened to Washington. They lost a coach.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. I got time to talk about some wonderful, outstanding, fine, unbelievable sponsors like Stevenson Air Conditioning. It's going to be cold in February. It's going to be cold. It's cold now. It's going to get warmed up by Sunday or Monday. Stevenson Air Conditioning, we don't care if it's hot. We don't care if it's cold. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning, and so should you. They do an incredible job. They are unbelievable. All real estate closing at South Oak, Taunton Closing, Chuck Tucker. J. Michaels, the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michaels. If you get injured in any way, you call the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. Listen to him Monday morning right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. The guy's incredible. He can operate the old-fashioned way. He can use the robots. He is unbelievable. He's that talented. People come from all around just be operated on Dr. Chad Mitchell. Also, get out to newbies, have a great time. Dr. Ward, we love him. We'll listen to him Wednesday at 7:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. Women, the 2 deadliest things they get, skin cancer and breast cancer. Dr. Ward can solve the skin cancer if you get there and see him quick. Don't put it off. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents Wrestling Against Cancer 10. Proceeds to help Ryan Holland. Stars to appear Mike Steele, Donnie B, AJ Stokes, Kelly Mann, and exciting women's wrestling with T Gaines, JC Black, and more. Wrestling Against Cancer 10, Saturday, February 8th at Bayhaven Charter Academy in Panama City. Tickets available at the door. More info at ESPNPC.com.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 50 with a light wind at 6 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 54. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 59 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you hear a squealing sound when you're braking? How about a clunking when turning? Shaking while under acceleration? These are all problems that Alford Tire and Service Center in Callaway can solve. With our friendly staff and trusted mechanics, we here at Alford offer a wide variety of services to keep you on the road and driving, which comes back with our nationwide warranty and easy financing options. Located in beautiful Callaway on Central Parkway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's get back to 2023, shall we? All right. We all said I probably would have picked Michigan to be in the top 12. I did remember talking about losing all the players and coaches and not win the Big Ten, but 12 teams, you would think they'd still be in the top 12. Maybe not. Washington, 14-1. They lost their head football coach. Be honest and be fair and balanced about this. If you'd done this a year ago at this time, would you say Washington would be in with a 12-team play? I'm talking not top 4. I'm thinking top 12.
No, because they joined the Big Ten, and I didn't see them in the top 4 of the Big Ten.
Good point. And they lost their coach. Good point. Good point. That's why you're a businessman. That's why you're where you're at. Glenn, I think Glenn said, yeah, they're in.
No, I did not say they were in.
No, I didn't either.
I can have the court reporter read back.
Go ahead. I've had that done before.
Right. So, y'all didn't think they'd make it?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. Texas. Would you have had Texas being in the top 12?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Would you pick Alabama? You picked them all top 12.
I picked them in the SEC, so for sure, 100%.
Yeah. I thought they would be, yeah.
Okay, well, Alabama, yes.
So how is Milroe going to be looked upon in years down the road? Like, to me, that was the biggest issue with Alabama, and I know everybody loves Milroe, and that's great and everything, but he was the problem on that team, in my opinion. I just don't think he suited the offense.
Never got better.
Just never did in the pass game. Yeah. I mean, he was a phenomenal runner.
I watched Ohio State run their quarterback. I watched Notre Dame run their quarterback, and I'm sitting there watching the game going, why can't we do it, Milroe? Yeah. That play right there, why can't we run that play with him?
I said it consistently for 2 years. And I'm not just saying it just because you're an Alabama guy. I say it because I believe it. I think it's true. I think they did a terrible job with him.
Yeah, I
do.
Too.
Milroe is a tremendous player.
Right.
He has tremendous skill set. So it's not his job to figure this out. It's your job. You're getting paid millions of dollars, and they played LSU, and he looked like, oh, my God, they finally got it worked out.
Exactly.
And then they go play Oklahoma. It looks like they never practiced.
And they did the opposite of what they just did with LSU.
What is the problem here? Like,
the Tennessee game really took me. I think they threw the ball 42 times in that game or something.
What are you doing?
They had 50
What
drop.
are you doing?
He threw the ball actually 45. They had 50 drop. See, that's not on him. That's on the offensive coordinator.
Definitely,
I agree.
100%. I don't blame him. I'm just wondering how he's going to be looked upon in Alabama.
You can tell
history.
he wasn't a drop back passer because he never played drop back passer. So why not put him on
before?
Yeah, why not put him on the move?
Yeah, I just never understood that.
FSU, I had them making the 12-team playoff.
I think we all did.
We all did. They started out with the hype. Yeah.
Was that not the biggest?
I actually had them missing it because I picked Miami to win the ACC, and I only thought it was a one conference thing.
You had it right.
I don't know if I had it completely right, but I just thought that Miami was going to. I had picked Miami to win the ACC just because I've seen their recruiting. Missed that one, so I don't get any credit anyway.
For Miami, it got down to coaching again.
It did. It definitely did. Losing to Syracuse was the difference in them being in and out.
All right, this was the final record of the conference bowl records. It's all over and done with. The Big Ten was the big winner. They won 10 games. They lost 6. They were 1-5 versus the SEC.
5-1.
5-1 versus. Well, we were 1-5. 5-1 versus the SEC. SEC broke 500, 8-8. Pitiful. Big 12, 4-5 in the ACC.
Oh, and what?
2-10.
2-10.
Pitiful.
All right.
So, It's where we are. Now, we got to tell the truth. I'm listening to some of my friends that go, no, top to bottom, we're still better. They were just top heavy. This is what we used to degrade it by. We used to run in their mouth all the time. Hey, we beat you in the boat. We got to give credit to Big Ten. Good job. This is your final poll, AP poll. Ohio State Buckeyes, number 1, 14-2. Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3, Oregon. Number 4, Texas. Number 5, Penn State. That's 3 out of the Big Ten in the top 5, right?
Yes.
And Ohio State played every single one of those teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
And beat them all
in a row.
Georgia finished 6th in the country, 11-3. Who'd they lose to? Ole Miss,
Notre Dame,
Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah,
Wow.
that big comeback.
Arizona State finished 7th. Boise State finished 8th. Tennessee 9th. Whew. That last game they played was embarrassing. Indiana finishes 10. Ole Miss 11. SMU 12th. BYU 13th. Clemson 14th. Iowa State 15th. 16th Illinois. 17th Alabama. Embarrassing. 18 Miami. 19 South Carolina. 20 Syracuse. 21 Army. 22 Missouri. 23 UNLV. 24 Memphis. And 25 Colorado. We don't have much time, but I did want to get in this with you three guys today. In my opinion, I think we got the wrong Heisman Trophy winner. I know guys that are better players than he was, and just my opinion. I know he played both ways, but I tell you what, I know number 2 at Ohio State could have played a running back. He could have played wide receiver, and he's the best defense player in the country, and that's Downs. I think number 4, Williams for Ohio State, is one of the best. Smith, one of the best players in the country, maybe the best receiver. He is the best receiver. And I would give it to the guy from Boise State.
I 100% would have.
I would have. If Deion was coaching at Boise State, he'd have won it.
Do you know how close he came to breaking Barry Sanders' single-season record? I mean,
I saw he was good.
But if you watch the Penn State game, and people trashed him about, he only had 115 yards. He was their only offensive weapon against a top 10 defense that was centered on him the whole time. If you watched him run in that game, to me, I was like, wow, that kid should have won the Heisman. And nothing against Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's a tremendous player, tremendous athlete. He's going to go on to do great things. But that was a hype award. I mean, he wasn't the best receiver in the country. He wasn't the best DB. So the only reason he
went both ways
is because
he
played more plays than anybody.
He played for Deion.
And that's a good factor to have. We should factor that in. But if you're not at lead at either one, I'm not sure why he won the Heisman other than the hype.
And the other thing, too, is they needed to do that to hype his program. Other teams like Alabama, Ohio State, the traditional powers, they don't have to hype their, hey, this guy's a great player, you need to come watch, because they're already good. People can identify who they are. But when you're an up-and-coming team, come watch Travis Hunter play for the Colorado Buffaloes, I think that was, like you say, the big hype machine just...
What's going to be really telling is where he fits in the NFL and how well he does at whatever spot he does fit in. That's going to tell me a lot. If he goes in there and dominates at defensive back, I'll be way more impressed. I didn't get a lot of sample size because the Big 12 is so bad. He's not going to have that Alabama-Auburn matchup. He's not going to play Ohio State, Michigan. So it's really hard to gauge. I got a tremendous respect for him.
You made a great point. He wasn't the best DB in the country.
Right.
There's no doubt Downs was the best. Everybody tell you that.
And the kid from Texas
and the
was
best,
really good.
Yeah, he's good. And the best wide receiver, he wasn't the best wide receiver.
Jeremiah Smith at the Ohio State University.
I mean,
he didn't even win the receiver of the year.
What
but
a joke.
On top of that,
he didn't win the
freshman of the year. They gave it to an SEC kid.
The edge rusher from Texas.
A kid from Texas, a defensive
I think his name was Simmons, maybe.
Yeah, like 6 sacks.
Really?
Wow.
Like, are you kidding?
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
2 great things tomorrow now.
Tell him.
115, 11 o'clock, be there. All right, and also starting at 9:30, going to be at the Cobb Gym, Bay High School, the George Mulligan 6th Annual Tournament. Great wrestling going on there. I said wrestling, by the way.
Yeah.
So get out there and see those.
Go watch some wrestling and go get some food right after.
Go.
The weather's going to be nice, getting a little bit warmer.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be 65 by Monday. Were you serious, though? That's really being reported?
Yeah, I see the radar and everything. It was covering the whole...
Kind of like the same last time?
It was actually looked worse, I'll be honest. It went all the way down to Orlando, and it was all across Texas and, all the way to the coast.
It's amazing. Trump hadn't been in office 2 or 3 days, and look what he already...
Global warming.
Global warming's gone. Gone. Trump, you're amazing.
It's really and truly, every so many hundred years, the climate does change. If you go back, ask the dinosaurs what happened.
That's right. The funny thing is they know when these weather changes happen, so that's why they're, it's global warming. Oh, no, it's weather change. And all they're trying to do is steal your tax money.
I want to thank you, Wildcat, for fighting through this weather, getting here this morning.
He did.
You're amazing.
I love you, Coach.
Love you too.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
It just means if you pour Everclear on something.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Hi, Paul. We're actually calling from Starkville, Mississippi. We watch you every single day. All the ladies here, we love you. Love you, Paul. And listen, whenever you come to Stark Vegas, stop by Sport Clips because we do like your look.
The next time I'm over there, I am coming by to see the ladies at Sports Clips.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening.